South Sudan Untold, the home of South Sudan history. From pre-colonial to post-independence, the past lives here. From a village that no longer exists because of decades of war to becoming one of the most influential political figures in South Sudan, General Taban Deng Gai has remained at the center of the country's political and military history for more than 3 decades. He has been a governor, peace negotiator, rebel commander, minister, first vice president, and today serves as one of South Sudan's vice presidents, leading the country's infrastructure cluster. Yet few political figures in South Sudan have generated as much admiration, controversy, and debate as Taban Deng Gai. Who exactly is Taban Deng Gai? How did he rise to power? What role did he play during Sudan's liberation struggle and South Sudan's civil war? And how did he become the first president he is today? This is the story of General Taban Deng Gai. General Taban Deng Gai was born around 1950 in the village of Kirial, an area that today falls within Unity State in northern South Sudan. His birthplace was later destroyed during Sudan's long civil wars. He belongs to the Nuer ethnic community and identifies with the Jikani Nuer lineage, although his home village was historically associated with the Lik Nuer. Growing up in what was then Southern Sudan, Taban witnessed decades of political marginalization, armed conflict, and economic neglect under successive governments in Khartoum. According to several biographical sources, he completed much of his early education in Southern Sudan before later studying economics at the University of Juba, graduating in 2009 after resuming his education later in life. Before joining full-time politics, he worked as a teacher and later for the American oil company Chevron during its operations in Southern Sudan before the outbreak of the Second Sudanese Civil War. Like many Southern Sudanese leaders, Taban Deng Gai became actively involved during the long liberation struggle. During the Second Sudanese Civil War, he worked closely with Dr. Riek Machar. He served in several important positions, including administrator of the Intang refugee camp in Ethiopia, head of the SPLA Relief and Humanitarian Operations in Nasir, quartermaster responsible for logistics within Machar's forces. When the SPLA split in 1991, resulting in the formation of the SPLA Nasir faction led by Dr. Riek Machar and Dr. Lamakol, Taban Deng Gai became one of the key political negotiators between the Nasir faction and the government in Khartoum. His negotiating skills would later define much of his political career. Following the Khartoum Peace Agreement of 1997, Taban Deng Gai became governor of Unity State, serving from 1997 to 1999. Afterward, he served as Deputy Minister of Roads and Bridges between 1999 and 2000. Following the signing of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement (CPA) in 2005, he returned as Governor of Unity State on 30 September 2005. As governor, he oversaw one of South Sudan's most strategic states because Unity State possesses some of the country's largest oil reserves. In the 2010 elections, Taban Deng Gai won re-election as governor after defeating his closest challenger, Angelina Tain, who is both his cousin and the wife of Dr. Riek Machar. The election, however, was heavily disputed within allegations of intimidation and electoral irregularities. When South Sudan became independent on July 9, 2011, Taban Deng Gai continued to be an influential political figure. However, political disagreements soon emerged within the ruling SPLM leadership. In December 2013, fighting erupted in Juba between forces loyal to President Salva Kiir and those aligned with Dr. Riek Machar, leading to the outbreak of the South Sudanese civil war. Taban Deng Gai sided with Dr. Machar and became one of the most senior leaders within the Sudan People's Liberation Movement Army in opposition, the SPLA-IO. He also headed the opposition's negotiating team during the IGAD-led peace talks in Addis Ababa, playing a central role in negotiating the 2015 peace agreement. The defining moment in Taban Deng Gai's political career came in July 2016. Following renewed fighting in Juba between government forces and the SPLM-IO, Dr. Riek Machar fled the capital. Shortly afterward, Taban Deng Gai accepted an appointment from President Salva Kiir as first Vice President of South Sudan, replacing Machar. This decision dramatically changed South Sudan's political landscape. Supporters argue that Taban was helping preserve the peace agreement and prevent collapse of the government. Critics accuse him of abandoning the SPLA-IO and betraying Dr. Machar. Many members of the SPLM-IO remain loyal to Machar, while others joined Taban Deng, creating what became known as the Taban faction of the SPLM-IO. The split permanently reshaped opposition politics in South Sudan. From July 2016 until February 2020, Taban Deng Gai served as the first Vice President of South Sudan. During this period, he represented the government in numerous regional and international meetings and became one of the principal figures involved in implementing the peace process. He also met with international leaders, including United Nations officials, to discuss peace implementation and national reconciliation. The Revitalized Peace Agreement (RCES), signed in 2018 and implemented in February 2020, restructures South Sudan's executive branch. Instead of one vice president, the country established 5 vice presidents, each assigned responsibility for a specific government cluster. Under the new agreement, Dr. Riek Machar returned as first vice president. Taban Deng Gai became vice president responsible for the infrastructure cluster beginning on the 21st February 2020. As chairperson of the infrastructure cluster, Taban Deng Gai oversees ministries responsible for roads and bridges, transport, housing, urban development, public works, civil aviation, other strategic infrastructure sectors. His office has focused on expanding South Sudan's road network and improving regional connectivity. Among the projects associated with the cluster are efforts to improve road links connecting South Sudan with neighboring countries, including Ethiopia, with the aim of boosting trade and regional integration. Like many senior political leaders in South Sudan, Taban Deng Gai's career has not been without controversy. His appointment as first vice president in 2016 remains one of the most debated events in South Sudan's political history. In January 2020, the United States sanctioned Taban Deng Gai under its global Magnitsky sanction program of allegations of involvement in serious human rights abuses. Taban has publicly denied the allegations, describing himself as a man of peace. Supporters view him as a pragmatic politician who helped prevent a complete collapse of the peace process, while critics argue that his decision deepened divisions within the opposition movement. Throughout his public career, General Taban Deng Gai has served in numerous senior positions, including administrator of the Etang refugee camp, head of SPLA humanitarian operations in Nasir, quartermaster within the SPLA Nasir movement, governor of Unity State from 1997 to 1999, deputy minister of roads and bridges from 1999 to 2000, governor of Unity State again from 2000 to 2013, chief negotiator of the SPLM-IO during the peace talks, minister of mining, first vice president of South Sudan 2016-2020, and vice president of South Sudan and chairperson of the infrastructure cluster. Few South Sudanese politicians have influenced the country's political trajectory as profoundly as General Taban Deng Gai. He has been part of the liberation struggle, state governance, peace negotiations, civil war, national reconciliation, and the country's transitional government. To supporters, he is an experienced negotiator and administrator whose pragmatic decisions help sustain the government during times of crisis. To critics, his 2016 decision to replace Dr. Machar fundamentally altered the course of South Sudan's opposition politics. Regardless of perspective, Taban Deng Gai remains one of the most consequential figures in South Sudan's modern history. From the destroyed village of Kerel to the office of Vice President, Taban Deng Gai's journey reflects many of the defining chapters of South Sudan itself: war, negotiation, division, peace building, and state information. His story is inseparable from the history of modern South Sudan. As the country continues its transition toward lasting peace, improved infrastructure, and democratic governance, General Taban Deng Gai remains one of the key leaders shaping that future. Whether history ultimately remembers him as a peacemaker, a political strategist, or one of South Sudan's most controversial statesmen, will depend on how future generations interpret his role in the nation's evolving history. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more in-depth documentaries exploring the people, politics, and history of South Sudan.